Welcome back. Well, anti-Semitism in this country continues to grow. In the latest shocking incident, a pro-Palestinian mob attacked and set fire to the Melbourne office of Jewish Labor MP Josh Burns. Many of the building's windows were smashed, red paint was poured throughout, and a photo of the MP in the window was vandalised with the text, "Zionism is fascism."
No amount of aggression and violence here in Australia is going to change what's happening in the Middle East. If it did, I would have vandalised my own office, of course, but it didn't. This sort of vandalism, this sort of political aggression has no place in Australia. It's enough.
Joining me now is the co-CEO of the Executive Council of Australian Jewry, Alex Ryvchin. Alex, thank you very much for joining us. How would you describe this incident?
Thank you. It's sickening. I mean, Josh is someone who I know very well. He's a thoroughly decent human being. He cares deeply for his community and for serving the public and the Australian people. In terms of his views on the conflict, they're moderate. He supports the right of Israelis to a national home, the right of the Jewish people to self-determination, and he supports Palestinian statehood. But the fact of the matter is that for these fanatics, for these extremists, any Jew who falls short of their maximalist positions, any person who doesn't adhere to their extremist worldview is a fair target. And this time it was an office and a shocking act of vandalism. Next time it could be an individual. And this could have escalated even further. They set fire to both sides of the building. There's an apartment building abutting the electoral office. This could have ended in tragedy. And when you're dealing with fanatics of this sort, anything is possible.
Well, that's it. And as Josh Burns said, that was lucky that nobody was inside at the time. I've got to say, we've seen so much anti-Israel sentiment, particularly from the Greens, for example. Do you think that the sentiment that is being peddled is spurring these people on to commit such horrific acts?
There's no doubt about it. And we see online every single day the myths, the conspiracy theories, the disinformation that spreads about the Jewish people, about the state of Israel. And when you have political leaders and sections of the media doing nothing to rebut this, doing nothing to actually establish facts and truth, and in fact validating a lot of this nonsense, then it leads to real life consequences. And the fact that our social cohesion is being ripped apart, the fact that elected officials who just want to serve the public are being targeted in this way, the fact that you have Jewish students and academics unable to go to their classes, this is all a symptom of the lack of leadership, of the political extremism that is taking hold in this country. It is deeply disturbing. And we're seeing trends now similar to what's happening in the United States, where you're seeing an amalgam of extremist movements in terms of Islamist extremism, the far left, and even neo-Nazis flooding into the pro-Palestinian movement. These groups have very little in common other than a hatred for the Jewish people. But unless there is a concerted effort to drive this extremism back to the fringes of our society, I'm really worried about what might happen in the future.
Yeah, it's just absolutely